Hey guys, Ajax22 here, and I wanted to show you where we're at with the Furiosa Mad Max SKS. Man, it's a project, and then I'll walk it through the DVD essentially at every frame that the SKS appears, and go over some of the little basics. This is the wood that I've managed to find that seems to be the closest. I believe it's running this type of sling swivel. Definitely running a steel plate. This plate is actually off of this SKS stock with the side sling. I don't think it has the side sling. I think it has the under sling. Yeah, so this was the butt plate, the rubber butt plate that was on it, but I switched it over. Don't think this wood is dark enough to put on the handguard yet, so it came with this stock. It had steel pins in the stock, reinforcing for at least it appeared to in the movie. It looks like I'm gonna have to remove this rear sight and figure out the scope situation. Heard a rumor tech sights might be what they used, and then the scope seems to be the discontinued model of Barska. Yeah, the stock has a lot of things engraved in it that I haven't figured out exactly what they mean. Don't know if I'm going to sand them out or leave it. I mean, I kind of feel like leaving it just because why not? You know, although it does look like hers was sanded to have a little narrower wrist than this, even though I think this was the type of wood it used. Have to figure out the situation for mounting the big ponderous grip, but still got to make the big ponderous grip, so that's something that'll keep. Going to strip and whoops. Going to strip the rear arsenal off the bolt carrier. See if we can get it to corrode a little bit. You can see it's got you can see the steel under the black. I kind of think it might not be a bad idea to blast it and then polish it out, but we'll just try hitting it with some barbecue black, or no, sorry, I'm going to hit it with some oven cleaner and strip it off, see what happens. This is a very pretty gun, so we're going to have to deprotify it. That's alright, she'll take it. SKSs are awesome. Anyway, what's going to follow is a lot of still images from the movie, followed with me talking about different aspects of the gun that are on screen, and just going over it. Very good information. Finally got around to buying the DVD, so you know, now we've got the real skinny and we can start actually building it. I think this stock is good. I might pick up a few more just to see if I can get a little bit closer to what's shown on screen, or maybe do some work on this to get the grain to match a little better. But you know, it's can only get so close. So yeah. Anyway, off to it. Alright guys, here we are watching Mad Max working on the SKS, and as you can see down here in the corner, we've got the first little glimpse of the gun that comes up in the show. Here you can see the leather covered bracket that holds it to the dashboard, and you get a pretty decent close-up of the block of wood that they've got bolted onto it, as well as the weathering and marks on the handguard and the tone. Fairly dark wood looks like here. Trying to make out that front sight. to see if it's open or closed. I'm gonna watch the sequence and see if anything else comes up, but wanted to show that little detail. Gonna go through the rest of the movie and see what else we can pull out. Hey guys, just got a good look at it. You can see the front sight post hooded and get a fairly decent good look at the front end. So I'm leaning towards Russian on this one. Maybe a Chi-Com, but probably Russian. Anyway, taking a look. Okay guys, we're at the scene now where Max is going back to hook up the air brakes on the fuel pod. And as you can see, the SKS has been stuffed into the purse, I guess, along with the muffler, shotgun, and what appears to be his jacket, I want to guess. And you can see here how it's been how the hand bump has been attached. So it looks like there were a number of screws from the bottom side. Hard to say if they're sunk into a plate on the other side of that, or if those are just screw heads that are sunk into the wood, or if it's through bolted. I think it might be countersunk, you know, nuts on the other side inside the stock, and then screwed in from here. But that looks to be about right. Yeah, still haven't been able to figure out exactly what type of stock it is. We need to look to see if the where the sling location is. That's going to make a big difference. But definitely dark wood, and you can see the heavy grain in the plywood, so I think plywood might actually be necessary for this. Sheets are running linear, and you can see the little bit of a swell on it. Pretty straightforward. Anyway, I'm going to keep going through the movie, seeing what little bits we can glean out. Alright guys, the arch has collapsed. Imam and Joe's made it across in the crawl-a-majig, and the bikers are attacking, so this is when the SKS first makes its appearance banging, as they say. Looks like there are some metal pins here and here. The stock actually looks to have been charred up front. And that's fairly significant chew marks on the... I mean, it really looks like a Chi-Com on this. It's Russian pattern, but it the wearer does not look typical of the Russians. It looks... most of the Russians got re-arsenaled. Sort of trying to make out anything on it. It's a little tough. You can see here the rail on the rear portion. This is with a scope unmounted. I don't know if we get a better look on this. The SKS bolt looks to be pretty decently corroded. Might just need to do a salt bath on the one that I've got and polish it on the exposed surfaces. May have had some letters carved in it at one point. Hard to say. I'm gonna go through it a little bit more. You can see the palm swell on the SKS. Should be a pretty easy shape to duplicate. Fit doesn't look to be super wonderful. I'm not sure if they reinforced the stock at all underneath. Yeah, there's a steel pin on the stock. It lines up right with it. I guess about halfway through the that cut would be normal. So I guess that makes sense. Alright, keep looking I guess, and see if we can get a better idea of the scope mounting situation. Alright guys, a little longer into that reloading sequence. This is fascinating. If you can see here, it definitely looks like a one-piece integrated mount with some kind of a aperture adjustment. This looks like an aftermarket sight of some kind. I don't know, tech sight, something. I'm not familiar with it, but that is definitely a prefabricated product specific to the SKS. I mean, that's clear. Up here, I mean, it looks for all the world like they just took the rear leaf sight out and then milled a piece of rail, or if there's, I don't know if there's a product that replaces that. Maybe by the same guys that do this little thing. but that looks, you know, like they just got rid of the rear sight and dropped that on. It might actually be something that's sold as in conjunction with this, although I'm not sure that that being the height that it is isn't going to obstruct this rear aperture. So yeah, really cool. And you can see the pin is right where we were going to expect it. So this is kind of fascinating. All right, I'm going to get back to it. All right, here we go. Furiosa has fired a couple of rounds and handed it off to the wives, property, whatever, breeders. And we get a pretty decent shot from the top down of the sight. Although, in this instance, it kind of almost looks like a casting. I don't know, this looks to be some kind of a turret adjustment or something. It's a little hard to make out, not recognize it. It also gives us an opportunity to look at the butt cuff on the rifle. Don't recognize the manufacturer. That almost looks like leather grain to me in here. So yeah, zippered pouch on the right hand side with some sling loops. Kind of looks like leather, black leather. You get a pretty decent idea of what the wood coloration is here. And then the rail here, but I don't know, it looks like they made a casting and bolted it to the top of a couple of prop SKS or something. That doesn't look real. It doesn't look right to me compared to like the rest of what we've seen. Anyway, I'm gonna see if we get a better frame. All right, with Max handing the SKS up to Furiosa, you can see it almost looks on the butt plate like it's one of the thinner ones. Hard to say. There it looks pretty thin. It also looks like a nylon straps, or at least plastic buckles on the cuff. I'm not sure if they had a couple of different versions for close-up and far away, but yeah, right there, that looks like the definitive angle. It says thin butt plate. I feel like you should on the left side of the SKS like that. I guess the sling on a side mount would be on the, it would be on the right. It would be right behind this buckle. I'm not sure if that is one. Here, let's hold one up for comparison. That looks, if that's folded forward, like that might be the sling buckle peeking out from underneath. Not sure about that though. Folded backwards maybe. That's a tough one. On the other style of stock, we would be seeing, okay, that looks, butt plate's wrong, but that could be a sling swivel in a forward position from the front there too. I kind of think that looks a little more like it, even though the stock has more subdued wood grain. It might just be also out of focus. Hard to say. Hard to say. Alright, here's a side view of the SKS. This looks to me all like a rubber replica. You can see there's no rear sight assembly. The whatever it is rubber on there. I mean, it's rubber. That's not a real gun. No way, no how. It's all misshapen, it's all curved, even accounting for, you know, motion. That ain't right. Yeah, solid plug barrel. That is just not a real gun. No motion, no flinch. Yeah. No hole for the bayonet. I mean, that is not real. So, no definitive answer there. See, in this side view, you can definitely see the little peep sight on the side of that thing. This looks like a real gun version. Looks like a practical gun actually shooting. Potentially. Still no word on the sling. Under the butt cuff makes it a little tough. I feel like you can almost make it out right there, but I think that's the part, could be part of the sling. Alright, back to this shot here. It looks to me like that front little block of rail is actually held on by two flathead screws. They just removed the rear sight entirely and screwed the block on. I don't know if they milled it flat first or what. That looks like a sling swivel, doesn't it? Underneath the strap. I think that might give us our definitive answer. Butt plate, though, looks thin. That almost looks like a flathead screw holding the that in too. Not sure about that rear sight. Might be off an AR. Looks like it might be like a micro adjustment off an M4 or something. Gives a good proportion on like how far out the bulge is. Looks like half an inch to me. About. Alright, back to it. Alright guys, just wanted to share with you, if you look in the sack o' guns, he also has the scope for the SKS in that bag. Kinda cool. Look like steel rings by the corrosion. Look like square nuts, see-through. And you can sort of see the bezel on the scope right there, right before the I guess that'd be the rangefinder portion. And you can see the cap on the scope pretty good. I think that's probably the best we're going to see of the rings straight on. Yeah, I don't recognize them. If you guys recognize them, let me know. They don't actually look like twist off or tip off or anything. They just look like conventional scope rings. So kind of amazing they make that one bullet shot later on. You know, spoilers and all. But yeah, see-through rings. Square or hexagonal nuts on them. Alright. Alright, in this sequence we get a halfway decent shot over her shoulder of the sight, and it looks like a very clear little peep sight. I think it has glass in it though. I think it might have a tiny bit of magnification. It's hard to say. Adjustment on the right. Little optic right in the middle. Yeah. Not sure I recognize it. Kind of looks AR-ish, but I mean, it really did look like it was part of the mount in that one photo we saw. So, see if we can get on Google and figure it out. Tough one. All right, guys. Here's the sequence, first of the sequences with the scope, and yeah. Looking at it, it has a very large, like, rear, is the rangefinder portion. The caps are very knurled. The bands on it are knurled. You see the see-through scopes clipped on, see-through scope rings clipped on. And the little who's this rear sight on the feller. It's like the rear adjustment tower is either the same size or slightly larger. And the right one I have no idea what the hell that is. So, if you have any ideas, let me know. You know, it'd be awesome if it just said, you know, NC Star on the side of it, or Barska. It looks to me like that discontinued model of Barska. It's got the angular front, I guess it'd be a sunshade. And a short extension threaded into it. I'm assuming threaded, it could just be press fit. That looks an awful lot like the discontinued model of Barska. You know, that might also be slightly off to the right. I don't know that those turrets are straight with each other. It could just be the angle of the gun. Alright. There's your practical. Yeah, I don't recognize that rear sight. And I don't recognize the scope. I'm guessing discontinued Barska. I have no idea what that little thing is right there. Maybe a quick disconnect lever for something, or maybe some sort of retainer for a lens cap or something. Alright, let's see if we can find a better shot. You get a little bit better of a look. That appears to be some part of a retainer loops up inside here. I'm guessing for the cap or the lens cap or something. It also looks like there is a I don't know, set screw or something for the turret. If anybody has an NC Star or a Barska and can take a look, see if any of the little bits resemble each other, that would be good. I might just have to buy one of each of the damn things. Oh well. The scope ring also has a very distinct profile, so looks like they're numbered on the wheel for the independent little peep sight. Definitely looks like numbers. Alright. Alright, here we are during the ammo count scene. Definitely 4 bolts holding the fore end on. Yeah. Looks like I want to say a 50 on that scope. Part of me doesn't think that it's angled. I mean, that almost looks true off to itself, but there's definitely some scenes where it... Oh, there it goes. I don't know. It could just be a trick of the angle. Looks like the palm swell has a couple of dimensions to it that are harder to pick up. Looks like there's a tip to it, and then like there's a centerpiece that everything's bolted through that's more rounded, and then there's this side piece, and then this bulge on the side piece. I might mock this up with cardboard or something a little later. It's kind of a strange shape. According to the internet, the armorer that did it just sort of threw some stuff together out of plywood. You can definitely see the plywood grain. Looks like 3 pieces of 3/4 ply bolted together. Not sure what they used to distress the scope. I'd say they just rubbed it with something caustic. Big boy right here. Yeah, you can see how far the scope extends. It's a good measure. So it's from halfway, or just a little quarter of the way onto that, up until halfway down the exposed gas tube, so we can get an idea of how long the screw-in insert is in ballpark. Alright. Keep on. Alright, we've just stared at the little pinky that they can squirt off, a bunch of times. Talking about the anti-seed. And get another shot at that scope. It looks like there's an adjustment wheel on the little thing in the back on the left too. But knurled, I don't even know if that's an adjustment wheel, if it's just a stylistic knurled ring. But yeah, get an idea. There's the little hex nut see-through rings they've got on there. Steel rings. Yeah, no, that's still not a great image. Here we are in the just probing scene. It gives a halfway decent shot of the buttstock right here. Or we're in the just probing scene. It gives a halfway decent shot of the buttstock. Specifically right there, we can see how the strap is. I'm not sure if that butt cuff is playing a factor in us perceiving it as a small butt plate. I'm kind of curious. Hard to say. But shortly hereafter, we get a couple of good looks at the scope, so we're going to go to that. We have Max's go around with the rifle. It really looks for all the world like it's got a sloped break on that. Almost looks like the sunshade is a little longer in this than it was prior. Turrets look to be roughly the same size. Rear one might be a little larger. Get to see a little bit of the setup here. Yeah, very much slant break. Very much a slanted sunshade. up front. And it's a big scope. I mean, that is gotta be 50 millimeters. Maybe 60. I don't know. It's a big one. It is a big one. Here we go again. Max is still shooting. Definitely knurled turrets. Small one on the right. And that little wire looking thing in his face right there looks to be some kind of a retention cap or, I don't know, battery cover, attachment point. Hard to say. Hard to say. Let's get to the next shot. Hard to say here. It's one of those things where I suspect when we get both the Barska and the NC Star in hand, it's going to be really painfully apparent. Painfully apparent. Looks like they didn't strip any of the anodizing from the inside of the sunshade, which makes sense. Probably works a lot better as a sunshade with the insides all blacked out. Tough. Yeah, it still has that little whatever battery or retention cover on the side of it. Ah, there we go. It looks like there is in fact a turret on the left-hand side of the gun as well. Yep. Turret looks a little longer on the right. They look to be about the same size. One on the left, shooter's left, might be a little bigger, but definitely knurled on both sides. Yeah, I'm leaning towards the early Barska. Alright, see if there's anything else, but I think that's the last bullet he had for the gun, so might be done with the actual staring at the screen and framing by framing on it. Alright, back to it.